Last week, I gave you guys an 8-minute video of my tips for the Thanksgiving warrior. But Thanksgiving's a big holiday. There's a lot involved. And a lot of you guys pointed that out. I didn't get to cover everything. So here I am again with part 2 of my tips for the Thanksgiving warrior. Let's not waste any time or mince words. You're going to need some of this Pepto-Bismol. Have it on hand. It's like the alcohol in the first video. You think you got enough? Grab another bottle. You're going to need it. Pepto covers all the bases when it comes to bubble guts. Grab enough for yourself. Grab enough for the people you love. The people coming to Thanksgiving you don't like, well, they can just bring an extra pair of underwear. I'm also going to strongly recommend that you pregame with one of these, Imodium. Trust me, there is nothing worse than getting a hold of something iffy on Thanksgiving and having a case of diarrhea that rides from Thanksgiving dinner into the beginning of the Christmas season. A few years ago, I caught a case of the Turkey Day squirts at my girlfriend's parents' house. I had such a bad case of diarrhea, it was literally raining from me like a monsoon. I was emptying barrels. It was insane. I've never seen anything like it. And every time I had to go, my ass would make like a loud, high-pitched noise, and the dogs would start barking downstairs when they heard it. And boy, do I wish I had a box of this that day. Speaking of things you want to have a lot of on hand, all right? You want to have a lot of butter. If you bought just like one box of butter to make the Thanksgiving dinner with, I'm here to tell you a pound will not do, all right? We ought to be cooking using butter like Paula Deen on her cheat day. Get enough bricks of butter to build a house. Now, let's talk mashed potatoes. Don't be using this. Dried potato flakes. If there's ever a day to get out the potato peeler and buy a sack of potatoes, it's today, Thanksgiving. Lots of butter, lots of cream, salt, pepper, possibly some garlic. And let's talk about the consistency of mashed potatoes. They should be creamy yet thick, not pasty. All right, don't be glopping them. They ought to not be a solid. Okay, and they shouldn't be too runny. Perfect fluffy mashed potatoes, buttery, delicious. Green bean casserole. That's a key side dish at Thanksgiving because it's one of the only times people even pull out a green bean casserole. And you know it's healthy because it's got green stuff in it. Now, there's a lot of different variations on the green bean casserole. You know, I guess the most classic standard version is the original version, which was invented by the Campbell's Soup Company. The can of green beans, the can of Campbell's cream of mushroom soup, the French's, fried onions on top. Classic, traditional, and while it is simple, that is the way it was invented. But I like to elevate it a little bit. I like to put a little bacon in mine. You know, I like to make my own cream of mushroom soup. I've even been known put a little cheese on top and make my own French fried onions. Yeah. Now, as a big back with fine taste, I don't really like the idea of people using canned foods at Thanksgiving. I think we should rise to a higher level. That being said, when it comes to the green bean casserole, you're going to want to use a can of French-style green beans. Don't get the other normal cut green beans. Don't get frozen green beans. And God forbid, whatever you do, don't get the fresh green beans because people are going to lose their shit. If you don't use the canned French-style green beans, people just have a conniption. Their minds cannot handle a fresh green bean in the green bean casserole. Trust me, I've been there, done that. So just save yourself the trouble, can of green beans. While we're on the subject of things that don't have to come from a can, cream corn, super easy to make at home. What I like to do is get a few ears of corn, cut the corn off the cob, get some bacon, a little bit of it, just sort of saute it in the pan. You don't want it overpowering. A little garlic, little onions, add the corn, saute it, add some cream, a little honey, a little seasoning. Boom, amazing cream corn for Thanksgiving. On to this quasi fruit dessert concoction, the Jell-O salad ambrosia, Cool Whip, marshmallow, fruit variation thing that's always at Thanksgiving. Nobody asked for it, but if it's not there, people will be disappointed. And don't you worry. If there's going to be an old lady in attendance, this type of thing will be present. So tell her to do it how she does it, with the marshmallows and the pecans and the coconut and the fresh fruit and Jell-O and pineapple and Cool Whip and mayonnaise, cottage cheese, whatever the hell goes in there. Just bring it. A common Thanksgiving mistake that a lot of people make is they think, hey, let's just phone it in for dessert. We'll just get a frozen pie. We'll thaw that baby out and just pop it right in the oven. And I say, no, you will not. We're not getting lazy. Get your ass in there and start making a pie. Any respectable Thanksgiving should have at least 2 representatives from the Autumn Pie Justice League. Pumpkin pie, sweet potato pie, apple pie, pecan pie. My favorite is pecan, but why not all? I also like a good cheesecake on Thanksgiving, like a nice pumpkin pie cheesecake or a pecan pie cheesecake, little caramel drizzle on top. Food for thought. Now, I can't prove the science behind this, but when you're making Thanksgiving dinner, you should be simultaneously eating deviled eggs. Make the deviled eggs ahead of time and pop them in your mouth as needed. This should be you while you're making Thanksgiving dinner. It's some sort of crazy power-up that makes the food taste better. Thanksgiving dinner is fueled on deviled eggs, so make sure you have yours ready. You're an athlete. Do yourself a huge favor. Wear yourself a pair of sweatpants to Thanksgiving. This is serious. Everybody says sweatpants are great for accentuating your wiener, but they have a better use, and that is facilitating a food baby. That being said, don't let your hot cousin sit on your lap if you're wearing these. Now, leading up to Thanksgiving, you want to make sure you have a healthy supply of these on hand. These little plastic containers that really should have been thrown in the trash, but your cheap ass won't let go. You're going to need them for leftovers, so collect as many as possible, like you're on Hoarders. Make sure they're not clear or anything. Make sure the lids don't fit and you can't see in them, so it's as difficult as possible to figure out what you're grabbing out of the fridge. It's just how it's supposed to be. Now, when it comes to plates, we're looking for sturdy, something that can handle the load. Big, heavy. Ideally, a special Thanksgiving platter. Really, if you ask me, this is the time to pull out the good china. What we won't be using is these cheap, small, everyday plates. This is not every day. This is Thanksgiving, brother. Time to bring in the heavy artillery. I strongly believe that Thanksgiving should be served in the middle of the day. Don't be holding to some rigorous time that the food must be done at 12. The food is done when it's done. We eat it in the middle of the day, around 2 o'clock or so. Don't be doing it at night, dinner time. That's crazy talk. You're supposed to eat a bunch in the middle of the day and then go lay down and take a nap like a tranquilized seal. And don't forget the true meaning of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is not about being thankful for what we have and the people around us and being gracious. It's about gluttony and gorging ourselves.